A couple ventured down a nondescript dirt road in Wayne County, Utah. They were searching for the perfect photograph. The kind of sweeping desert vista that captures the raw, unforgiving beauty of the American West. What they found instead would shatter the fragile hope of an entire community. Among the smattered shrubs and sun-scorched earth, they stumbled upon something no one should ever see. The decomposed remains of a little girl. Her name was Melody Alani Buzzard. This photograph was captured on October 7, 2025, at a rental car office in Lompoc. Look at it carefully. This is one of the last known images of Melody alive. Notice anything unusual? Both Melody and her mother are wearing wigs. They're disguising themselves. At 9 years old, this child was being used as a prop in a plan she couldn't possibly understand. In less than 72 hours, Melody Buzzard would be dead. Shot multiple times in the head. Melody Buzzard had been absent from school for an extended period. No explanation, no contact, just silence. Deputies from the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office responded to the family's residence on Mars Avenue. They contacted Ashley Buzzard directly. Ashley provided no verifiable explanation for her daughter's whereabouts. Red flag number 1. 24 hours later, on October 15th, detectives served a search warrant at the Mars Avenue residence. What they discovered would send this case in a chilling direction. Investigators learned that Ashley Buzzard had recently rented a vehicle. And when they reviewed the surveillance footage from the rental office, they saw something that made their blood run cold. Both Ashley and Melody were wearing wigs. They were deliberately concealing their identities. Why would a mother need to disguise herself and her child to rent a car for what she claimed was an innocent road trip? On October 22nd, the sheriff's office released these images to the public. The community responded with shock and growing fear. Where was Melody? On October 24th, 2025, detectives released a detailed travel timeline. What they'd uncovered was staggering in its scope and disturbing in its implications. Ashley and Melody left Lompoc on October 7th. Over the next 3 days, they would travel through 7 states on a round-trip journey covering thousands of miles. California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Wyoming, Nebraska, then back through Kansas, Colorado, Utah again, Arizona, Nevada, and finally California. On October 9th, Melody was captured on video one final time. She was with her mother at a stop near the Colorado-Utah border. Investigators now believe that shortly after this moment, Melody was murdered, shot multiple times in the head by the woman standing next to her. But here's what's truly disturbing. Ashley Buzzard continued that trip. She returned home to Lompoc on October 10th with the rental car. Melody was not with her. And investigators discovered something else. Ashley had switched license plates during the journey. She backed into gas stations to avoid surveillance cameras capturing her plate numbers. This wasn't grief. This wasn't panic. This was calculated, premeditated, coldly methodical. October 30th, 2025. Sheriff's detectives and the FBI evidence response team served additional search warrants. The Mars Avenue residence, a storage unit Ashley had rented, and that rental vehicle. Inside the residence, they recovered an expended cartridge case, spent ammunition, evidence of a gun having been fired. Inside the rental vehicle, they found a live round of similar ammunition. The same type, the same caliber. That cartridge case was immediately submitted to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives for entry into the National Integrated Ballistic Information Network, NIBIN, a firearms-related evidence database that can link bullets and casings to specific weapons. And then, investigators waited. They maintained around-the-clock surveillance on Ashley Buzzard. They collected digital evidence, they analyzed forensics, they built their case piece by painstaking piece. All the while, Melody's body lay hidden in the Utah desert, exposed to the elements, decomposing under the unforgiving sun, waiting to be found. December 6th, 2025. 60 days after Melody was last seen alive, 2 months of searching, 2 months of hoping, 2 months of prayers that somehow, impossibly, she might still be found safe. A man and a woman were taking pictures near the 3300 block of East State Route 24, a remote area of Wayne County, Utah. The kind of place where you can drive for hours without seeing another soul. They wandered off the roadway, searching for that perfect shot of untouched wilderness, and they found her. The Wayne County Sheriff's Office responded to the scene. What they discovered was immediately apparent. and absolutely heartbreaking. The decomposed body of a young girl, she had died from gunshot wounds to the head, but her identity couldn't be immediately confirmed. The body was too decomposed. They would need DNA analysis, forensic confirmation, scientific certainty. 16 days of forensic work, of testing, of comparison, of verification. December 22, 2025. The FBI crime lab completed their analysis. The DNA was a familial match. The body found in the Utah desert was 9-year-old Melody Alani Buzzard. But DNA identification was only part of the puzzle. Investigators needed to connect Melody's murder to a specific suspect. They needed ballistic evidence, a smoking gun. The NIBIN database provided exactly that. The cartridge cases recovered at the Utah crime scene were flagged in the system. They matched the expended cartridge case found at Ashley Buzzard's home during the October 30th search. These weren't similar, they weren't comparable, they were a definitive match. The same weapon that fired the bullet found in Ashley's home had fired the bullets that killed Melody in Utah. Prosecutors would later confirm that Melody was killed with a 9mm handgun. The same type of live ammunition found in Ashley's rental car. Think about what this means. Ashley Buzzard transported her daughter more than 700 miles from home. She shot her multiple times in the head. She left her body in one of the most remote locations in the continental United States. She chose this spot deliberately. Somewhere so isolated that Melody might never be found. Somewhere far enough from California that local authorities wouldn't immediately connect the cases. She planned this. Every single detail. December 23, 2025, 7:51 a.m. members of the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office, along with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, arrived at the Buzzard residence on Mars Avenue. They served search and arrest warrants simultaneously. Ashley Lynn Buzzard was taken into custody without incident. She was booked at the Santa Barbara County Northern Branch Jail for first-degree murder. Bail? None. She would not be getting out. Sheriff Bill Brown held a press conference later that day. His words were measured but carried unmistakable weight. This is an extraordinarily tragic case involving the murder of a child by the very person she relied upon and trusted the most. Brown continued, describing the nature of this crime in terms rarely used by law enforcement. He called it calculated, cold-blooded, and criminally sophisticated. Every piece of evidence pointed to premeditation. The wigs, the switched license plates, the multi-state journey, the remote location. This wasn't a moment of passion. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a mistake. This was a mother who spent days planning how to murder her 9-year-old daughter and get away with it. Throughout the entire investigation, from October 14th through her arrest on December 23rd, Ashley Buzzard remained uncooperative. She provided no verifiable explanation for Melody's whereabouts when deputies first contacted her. She refused to help investigators understand what happened to her daughter. Even after her arrest, even facing first-degree murder charges, even knowing that her daughter's body had been found, Ashley's demeanor didn't change. She said nothing. What kind of person can maintain that silence? What kind of mother can know where she left her child's body and refuse to speak? Sheriff Bill Brown used a specific term during his press conference: maternal filicide. The murder of a child by their mother. Maternal filicide is, thankfully, rare. But it exists, and when it happens, it shatters our most fundamental assumptions about the parent-child bond. Researchers have identified several categories of maternal filicide. Altruistic filicide, where a mother believes she's saving a child from suffering. Acute psychotic filicide, driven by severe mental illness. Unwanted child filicide, accidental filicide, and the most disturbing category, revenge filicide. Where does Ashley Buzzard's case fit? Investigators have not yet established a motive. There's no evidence of a custody dispute gone wrong. No documented history of severe mental illness that would explain a psychotic break. No indication that Melody was unwanted in the typical sense. What we have instead is evidence of extensive planning, sophisticated criminal activity, deliberate concealment. This suggests someone who was fully aware of what they were doing. Someone who understood the legal consequences and took elaborate steps to avoid them. In the absence of psychosis or clear external motive, we're left with a deeply unsettling possibility that Ashley Buzzard simply decided her daughter should die, and then she made it happen. Despite the overwhelming evidence against Ashley Buzzard, investigators are still missing two critical elements: the murder weapon That 9mm handgun has never been recovered. Ashley disposed of it somewhere during her journey. It could be in a dumpster in Nebraska, at the bottom of a river in Colorado, buried in the desert near where she left Melody's body. Finding it would be like searching for a single grain of sand on a beach stretching across 7 states. And the motive? Why did Ashley Buzzard kill her daughter? What drove her to plan and execute this crime? What could a 9-year-old child possibly do to warrant this? The absence of a clear motive makes this case even more haunting, because it suggests that sometimes evil doesn't need a reason. It simply is. December 24th, 2025, Christmas Eve. While families across America prepared for celebration, Ashley Buzzard was formally charged with first-degree murder. The criminal complaint included special allegations that the murder was committed by means of lying in wait, that Melody was particularly vulnerable, that the crime involved great violence, great bodily harm, and acts disclosing a high degree of cruelty, viciousness, or callousness. The complaint stated that the crime was carried out with planning, sophistication, and professionalism, and that the defendant took advantage of a position of trust or confidence to commit the offense. Position of trust. She was Melody's mother, the only parent Melody had left, the person who was supposed to love her unconditionally, protect her from harm, keep her safe. December 26, 2025, 2 days after Christmas. Ashley Buzzard was arraigned in Santa Barbara County Superior Court. Her attorney, public defender Adrian Galvin, entered a plea on her behalf, not guilty. She denied all special allegations. She denied lying in wait to kill her daughter. She denied taking advantage of Melody's vulnerability. She denied the planning and sophistication. The judge ordered her held without bail. A gag order was imposed on the sheriff's office, preventing them from discussing details of the case not already publicly released. Melody's paternal family attended the arraignment. They sat in that courtroom and watched as the woman accused of murdering their little girl proclaimed her innocence. Marvin Mezzo, Melody's uncle, spoke to reporters afterward. His voice carried anguish and disbelief. He said he doesn't understand why prosecutors aren't seeking the death penalty. Lily Deans, Melody's paternal grandmother, expressed outrage at the not guilty plea. Her granddaughter was dead, shot multiple times in the head, left in the desert like garbage. And the woman accused of doing this claimed innocence. Karina Mezzo, Melody's half-sister, had said weeks earlier, "We're all looking for answers." They still are. Santa Barbara County District Attorney John Savinock made a controversial decision. His office would not pursue the death penalty. Instead, prosecutors will seek life in prison without the possibility of parole. Some legal experts suggest this was strategic. California juries can be reluctant to impose death sentences, even in heinous cases. By seeking life without parole instead of death, prosecutors may be calculating that they'll have a better chance of conviction. A jury that might balk at sending someone to death row might more readily convict knowing the sentence is life imprisonment. A pre-preliminary hearing is scheduled for January 7, 2026. The gag order will be discussed again at that time. And then the slow machinery of justice will continue grinding forward. Months, possibly years, pre-trial motions, discovery, depositions. All while Ashley Buzzard sits in a cell and Melody remains in the ground. In Vandenberg Village, life continues. Children still ride bikes, people still go to work, the sun still rises over those modest homes on Mars Avenue. But something has changed, and innocence has been lost, because now everyone knows that the worst thing imaginable happened right here. In their neighborhood, behind closed doors. Neighbors reported seeing deputies taking Ashley from her home on December 23rd. Some said they'd seen people gathering outside the Buzzard residence in the weeks before, shouting questions about Melody's whereabouts. The school where Melody should have been attending classes stands as a reminder. Every empty desk, every absence that shouldn't exist, every child who wonders why their classmate never came back. Sheriff Brown's words during his press conference captured the weight of this tragedy. The loss of a child is among the most profound tragedies any community can endure. That loss is exacerbated when it is at the hand of someone else, and particularly at the hand of the one who should have loved them the most. He continued, "Today we stand together in grief, but also with resolve. Melody deserved a far better life than she had. We will honor her memory by ensuring that every step of this process is handled with care, compassion, and a steadfast commitment to justice." Sheriff Brown's final words: "May God bless the innocent soul of Melody Buzzard, who we will never, ever forget." As this case moves toward trial, so many questions remain unanswered. What was Ashley Buzzard's motive? If there was no custody dispute, no documented mental illness, no clear external pressure, why? Where is the murder weapon? What did Ashley do with that 9mm handgun? How long had she been planning this? Days? Weeks? Months? Did Melody know what was going to happen? In those final moments on October 9th, near the Colorado-Utah border, did that little 9-year-old girl sense danger? Did she try to run? Did she beg for her life? And perhaps the most haunting question of all, how many times did Ashley drive past that spot where she left Melody's body during her return journey? Did she look? Did she feel anything? The Melody Buzzard case forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about child safety and the limits of our social systems. Melody was rarely seen, even by her extended family. She was isolated. But no social services intervention occurred. No teachers or administrators raised alarms about her isolation before her prolonged absence. How many other children are living in similar isolation right now? Hidden from view, trapped with people who wish them harm. What are the warning signs we miss every day? The children who are homeschooled but never seen. The families that keep to themselves. The parents who never let their kids play with neighbors. This case is a reminder that isolation enables abuse. Connection saves lives. True crime enthusiasts often search for explanations. We want to understand why people commit heinous acts. We want to find the trauma, the mental illness, the external pressure that explains the evil. Because if we can explain it, we can predict it, prevent it, protect ourselves and our children from it. But sometimes, there is no satisfying explanation. Sometimes, evil simply exists. It wears a human face. It lives in a quiet suburban home. It drives a rental car through 7 states while planning to murder a child, and that's the most terrifying reality of all. That someone who looked normal, who functioned in society, who was trusted with the life of a child, could be capable of this. As of now, Ashley Lynn Buzzard sits in the Santa Barbara County Jail, awaiting trial. She faces life in prison without the possibility of parole if convicted. The evidence against her is substantial: ballistic matches, DNA confirmation, surveillance footage showing disguises, a documented multi-state journey, switched license plates, and a dead child found 700 miles from home. Her defense team will have to explain all of this away. They'll have to convince a jury that somehow, despite everything, Ashley Buzzard is not responsible for her daughter's death. That's a nearly impossible task. The legal process will continue. Pre-trial hearings, motions, discovery, eventually, a trial, and finally, a verdict. Justice will be served, or it won't. Ashley Buzzard will be convicted, or she'll somehow be acquitted. The system will work, or it will fail. But regardless of the outcome in that courtroom, one truth remains unchanged. Melody Alani Buzzard deserved better. She deserved a childhood filled with joy and laughter. She deserved to grow up, to go to school, to make friends, to experience first loves and heartbreaks, to find her passion, to become whoever she was meant to be. Instead, she got 9 years. 9 years with a mother who would ultimately decide that Melody's life should end. This is the reality of crime. It doesn't just affect statistics and case numbers. It destroys lives, it tears apart families, it leaves communities traumatized and searching for answers that may never come. Dozens of law enforcement officers dedicated months to this case. They worked around the clock, they coordinated across multiple agencies and jurisdictions, they processed thousands of pieces of evidence, they brought Melody home. They gave her family answers, even though those answers brought unbearable pain. And they sent a message. That children matter, that their lives have value, that society will not tolerate those who harm them, even when the perpetrator is the child's own parent. This is Crime and Consequences, where we examine not just the crimes themselves, but the ripple effects. The destroyed lives, the communities left to pick up the pieces, the systems that failed, and the people who fight for justice. Melody Buzzard was 9 years old when someone decided she didn't deserve to live anymore. That someone was the person who gave her life. The person who should have protected her above all else. When we tell these stories, we do it with one purpose: to remember, to ensure that victims aren't forgotten. That they're more than headlines, more than case numbers, more than statistics in a crime database. Melody Buzzard existed. She laughed, she played, she had thoughts and feelings and dreams. She deserved a lifetime to explore who she would become. And until the day her killer faces final judgment, we will not forget her name. This has been Crime and Consequences. Subscribe for more investigative deep dives into cases that demand justice.